I feel like I should go take a piss, but hey, I like some adversity.
Hey, I want to feel my back against the wall.
I like the adversity. I want to feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, but it's sometimes like when we're ripping the pod and I have to piss, I'll get like anxiety.
A little antsy.
Like I'm like, dude, like, do I even get this? Do I get this out? Do I not get it out? I'm like starting to talk fast. It's like, and then I'm in my head.
And then you're like, and if it's longer into the episode, you're like, okay, maybe we're gonna wrap this up soon.
Yeah,
Like,
I can hold on for 5 more minutes.
I got 5 more minutes, and then you go 7, and you're like, I'm in a deeper hole than I was 7 minutes ago.
Yeah,
This is tough. It's tough.
my last 5 more.
Chop wood, carry water.
But like, I hear where you're at. I see
Yeah,
where you're at.
yeah.
I'm not thinking that's where I'm gonna land today, but it's gonna be all right. I'll be all right.
Good.
But Comstock, it's great to see you, my boy.
Hey, it's been a while.
Been a while. The it's Tuesday. The sun's out. It's a beautiful day. The boys are in town. Coming off a 3-day weekend, which I will say we love a 3-day weekend, and we love a
Yes.
holiday 3-day weekend. It does jack my week up. Like I did wake up this morning and was like, oh shit, it's Tuesday. Like I have to like dial myself up for today to make sure we have some topics.
It completely threw me off.
Oh, yeah.
Because my Mondays is like get back in, lock
reload
in,
day.
reload day. And like some people, it's not. Some people, it's like they got to hit the ground running Monday, go, go, go. For me, it's very like, all right, what did I miss from last week? What do I have for this week? Game plan. And then it's really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, grind.
No, facts.
So today I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
The recharge day. But I wanted to ask you, like, perfect 3-day weekend holiday setup. Is that are you like having a Friday off? Or you like having a Monday off? Obviously, I'm a Monday guy, but like, I love knowing that I have a holiday weekend because normally that comes with plans.
Right.
Where like I know that I might get up to like 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend. Like we might get up to some cooking, we might get up to some beer drinking, some good cooking.
And
like,
the best part is you're going to see some people that maybe you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
You know you're going to enjoy them.
Yes.
You know it's going to be fun.
and that's what we're about.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like if I had a definition of like the lunch pail guys, like I just want to be around my people.
I want to be around good people that make me happy.
Come on, like, and
So-
I know that about the weekend.
Oh yeah. So I think for some people I know they like a Friday and they like to just get that week out of the way. For me, I'm more like let's push it to Monday. I'm by 2:00 Friday. I'm already on vacation.
No, yes.
So
no,
it's like I'm
facts.
stealing. I'm stealing a few hours here.
I'm stealing no
Yeah.
matter what. I'm 5% Friday and
Exactly.
on that Friday for
So
sure.
I'm catching one extra night.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we're letting it ride. Personally, though, even though Monday, like I just did some yard work with my parents. Like bought my nephew some new football cleats. Like
Yo,
got him iced down.
hold up.
Hey,
That's a blessing being an uncle right there.
Oh.
Swagging him out.
bro, what?
You're gonna look steezy out there.
Dude, he's got
I
some
love-
nice
I
cleats.
love that for
Yeah.
you. I love
Hey,
that.
he wanted to pick these ones, and I was like, no. Hey, these are
Those
cool.
those are bummy. Do not put those on your feet.
I will not buy those
Yes.
for you.
I will buy them and cook you up when you put them on.
I told him that. I was like, hey, let's go get you some new cleats. And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. He's like, I'm gonna be rounding people up. I was like, I will still clamp your ass. though. And then
Gotta let him know.
Hey, and he's like, I'm 14. You're a grown man. I said, are you being a coward right now?
Good.
Hey,
Good.
get better.
Mhm.
Beat me.
Beat me. No,
Good
but
stuff.
I hear you on the like we call it in the Mitchell family. If we have a Monday off, that's Sunday replay.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like I can now my whole weekend is shifted to. It's like lining up in an unbalanced formation. That defense now has to shift. They have to new center it.
Yeah.
Right? They got bossed that nose guard over.
Yeah,
Like
they knock.
re-center, knock somebody over. Right? Like that's what I do with my weekend. Now everything like I essentially have 2 Fridays
Yeah.
and 2 Sundays. Like I don't really have Saturday in there because I know that like that Friday I still get to let it loose. Like a Saturday turns into a Friday for me if you're following what I'm saying.
No, I'm
Like,
following. I'm just trying to calculate the amount of fun, one.
No, it's
And two, like, that's why you're hurting so bad on a Tuesday, brother.
but it also like it also doesn't have to be around like just slamming beers and doing crazy shit. Like
No, for sure.
I will count like that Monday, like this last Monday, we got up, went for a good walk, went out, did some grocery hunting, came back, and then we kind of got act. We were like, yo, it's only like 11:30, 12. Like, and then this Monday, I'm like, you want to go down to the pool, go for a swim? We ended up driving to
Yeah.
Hanford, got in the pool. I did have a couple sneaky beers. Wasn't planning on it, but like
They just
not
snuck
always
out
crazy. They
and
just kinda
grabbed your
snuck out.
ass.
Hey man, it's like 2 o'clock. Standing by the pool, it's 80 degrees out, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what good? Know what goes good with this ice cold pool? An ice cold beer. So like,
Yeah, it's pretty hard to like 1 + 1 = 2.
yeah, like you don't have to, but like I didn't have to, but I wanted to.
Exactly.
I love to have a good time. So, but it's always looking at it. Holiday weekends are a good time. But what did we have over the holiday weekend? Our Diamond Dogs,
Come on.
back to back
Come
Mountain
on.
West Conference champions, headed to a regional.
Well, since I've been at Fresno State, when I played there, I think they won like 2 or 3 when I was there.
No, the like
I feel like
as of-
they are very
and
good
same
at
for me.
winning championships.
and like we had overlap from like I graduated, you came in, and all that. But like
right.
so I guess that's an 8 to and you play for some time, almost like a 10-year
Right,
span.
10-year span, yeah.
I mean,
When
they
did you
won
get there?
2014.
Okay, so my last year was 23, so 9 years.
So we had a long span there. Like
Yeah.
even when I was there, I think my junior and my senior year, like they were a good team. They won
Yeah.
a Mountain West Conference championship. They had some All Americans on that team. 2013, his last name's Ward. He's playing for the Angels. Guy's having a hot bat.
Yeah.
He's a Fresno State alum. I watched him play when I was there. So like they've been good for a long time.
Yeah.
And obviously that comes from having continuity in the clubhouse. But like you can't really fake that. You can't fake your team.
No.
Ryan Overland has been there for a long time as an assistant coach, now as the manager. They've won a ton. He was an interim year, and then they gave him a year contract, and now he's 2 years in the program, and they're back-to-back Mountain West Conference champions. Like I don't think you could ask for much more.
No.
And he's an alum. Like
Yeah.
the guy's a proven winner. It's fun to see.
Well, and it's like we've already won a national championship in that sport,
And he was on that team.
and
Like,
was
so
a
he
big part of
knows.
it. So I'm like, when are we going to get another one of those? We've talked about it a few episodes ago. Like, at some point, Fresno State's going to win a natty in something, and it's going to be big, and
Yeah.
the fans are going to be absolutely
Yeah.
ecstatic about it. But like, are we on the verge of baseball kind of breaking into that, consistently winning the Mountain West Championship, consistently making a run in the College World Series? Are we at that point, or are we still kind of?
No, I think that we're putting together some good teams.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to kind of obviously this team this year is pretty damn loaded. All right, we got a third baseman within our roster who's going to declare for the MLB draft and probably get drafted very, very high based off of the last couple seasons he had at Fresno State, right?
Yep.
Tournament MVP, Murph Gray. He had to bring the juice hat on it.
Oh,
at
swaggy.
the selection day for regionals. Like the guy understands that he's a Madera native, right? So he's been here and been grown up in the Valley, played here
Yeah.
for the Valley. But like those kind of guys don't come in your program a lot, right? So like they've had him and a lot of other key pitchers and role players. Obviously, baseball takes a lot of guys to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
But I think that with moving forward, we're looking at the Pac-12 in 2 years or a little under 2 years now. I think all that conference realignment shifts the power of baseball as well. Kind of like, I'm going to play at USC, and I don't want to play half my games in the snow in the Midwest of the country.
Right.
So like that kind of talent pool is shifting a little bit. So I'm hoping that we are leaning towards a good trajectory of,
Yeah.
not necessarily, I think your note, maybe not a national championship, but
Yeah.
consistently winning and being in the tournament and
Yeah. That's the
becoming
key.
more of a household name.
That's the key, because once you start getting yourself more opportunities,
Yeah.
that's all you can ask for is opportunity.
Correct.
Then it goes down to just performing, and then obviously talent level, and how much talent do you have on your team, and
How well do you recruit?
Yeah.
What's your talent development look like?
but
It's gonna be interesting, man.
it's important. Like I could say this for football. I think, and this is kind of a hot take, just a random hot take, but in football, I think there needs to be a few more teams added to the playoff bracket, just to allow teams to have the opportunity to be there and
Dude, I want
and throw it out there.
up, bro. Blow that thing up. That
Yeah.
would be sick to have a huge tournament. But like,
Right.
they just announced the whole, or the College Football Playoff Committee just announced the playoff picture realignment essentially, or whatever. The format has changed now, where you're
Okay.
not getting automatic bids.
I think
So
that's
they're
good.
having all 12 just get like seasons in. Everyone, whoever's your conference champion, whoever's you're not, and then the committee then chooses from their top 4, and then the rest. So,
I think that's helpful.
I think you're definitely going to start. Look, man, every time we come out with something new from these playoffs, one end of the spectrum is like, woohoo, this is awesome. And other end's like, it's just another reason for these power conferences to give. Like, are you going to see another Mountain West champion as the 4 seed getting a bye in this model?
No.
Probably not. So like, there's both ends are polarizing. But
Yeah.
I'm with you, dude. Like, let's get that thing to like 16.
Yeah. And
Take
let's
like 20. I don't
let's
care. Like something
even like they were like people were saying SMU shouldn't have been there, Boise shouldn't have been there, and Arizona State shouldn't have been there. And I'm like, we would have never got to see
like
Cam Scatabo go crazy. We wouldn't be.
electricity, bro.
You know, like-
all those games you just named, like maybe the in route looked a little different, but like
Yeah.
watching those games as a fan and as a former collegiate player, those were good games, man.
And obviously SMU they got blown out.
But again, like that, I don't know if that score tells that whole story.
Right.
Right. Like that. Yeah. Like you got a moment too big, pissed on your leg.
Yeah.
You got in a big moment and they routed you. Now, does that tell the whole story of them? No. But I love that dog was in that fight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see another giant clash matchup between an SEC and a Big Ten. Like I like to see that dog in there. It's like
Right. Because
hungry dog runs faster.
what happens when the best part about college football is there's these huge upsets all the time.
Yeah.
It's always happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gives you more
That's what
chance
I
and
think
more.
that's what we love about it.
Yeah.
Like
And I
that's
think
your favorite part.
That's what I think these bigger conferences and these bigger fan bases are worried of is we don't want to have to play against. We don't want to have that route there
Yes.
because it's hard,
Correct.
and we have the chance to get upset by a smaller team. And I think
it's
yeah,
interesting. It's very interesting. But I'm actually happy we somehow tangented onto college football because reports out of the SEC are saying that by 28-29, the SEC will no longer be adopting the NCAA policy and rules as part of that infrastructure, which is, to be honest, that's huge.
and that's only a few years away.
That's not far, right? And
What 3-4 seasons?
yeah, and realistically, with kind of how everything's been going with these big settlements and the movement of college athletics, like things take time and they happen, but then they seem to just go rapid.
Yeah.
But my question is like, is that the end game? Like, is that like because we saw when you first saw the first ever,
Thanos is coming.
No, that's what I mean. Like, the SEC and all the big money guys are putting a glove together to snap their fingers and go, well, we have 5 power conferences with all the money and all the viewership, and we just get to go over here and play a high level pro amateur model of a game.
So explain to me, like we were kind of talking about this earlier. It's an opt-in system. How does that work?
Essentially, the NCAA is a membership. Okay, the NCAA is an organization in itself, and all of these teams the normal model you've looked at NCAA forever, it's a membership model. We accept the membership and pay the fees to be a part of them, and in return for that, we take their guidance and their rules and
their structure
and the compliance aspect and like all those things that when you've been in college athletics you've touched on. That's what the NCAA provides.
So I don't think I've ever thought about it this way. They're essentially just a company that runs college.
Yes.
I mean, I don't.
Yes.
I've
They're
never.
a giant monopoly.
For some reason, I
runs
thought.
the entire institution of college athletics.
For some reason, I always thought of the NCAA as like a governance board that
It's a governance
but
body, but
is
it's
it-
in like a membership.
but it's a private. Is it private or is there federally?
Can you help us out? Is the NCAA a private organization or is it a public offering?
Because I'm interested to see if
I'm pretty sure it's because it's a member based operation. Yeah. Members. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
So what was said right there is it's a giant. What I think I was getting to is it's a giant organization that is not non for profit.
Yeah.
But it's made by members that are within it.
Right.
So we signed, the schools each sign a membership to be a part of these rules and regulations.
Yeah.
Which you can avoid that. You can void that contract and get into litigation about it.
Yeah.
Or you can go, hey, I would be willing to bet that in 28-29 there was going to be another ruling to re-sign up for membership for. It's like in fucking joining the army. Like you got to re-enlist for another 4 more years. Like I think it's very similar to that. So,
Yeah.
but like it was like when I know I'm on a long tangent here, but like when we first saw conference realignment.
Yeah.
And 2 big name teams said, "Yep, we're gone," and jumped. Right? I'm talking about big market UCLA and USC. What happened after that?
It crumbled.
Avalanche.
Yeah.
Just boom, 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 boom. So I'm now trying to look at 1,000-foot views with the SEC going, "Hey, we're going to be out of here in 28-29." Is there a fire lit under all those other power conferences' ass to be like, "Yo, so are we ejecting with them, or are we going to continue
I think
under
that's
these guidelines?"
I mean, I just feel like it's the only play that anybody has, right?
Well, I
Because-
don't think it's ever been done. Like this would be This is new. This is like
Yeah, well, it would be
uncharted
like-
territory. It's unlocked on a map. We haven't gone on it yet. It's in the dark still.
It'd be like a team that's in NAIA that's like, screw them. We're not going to be in NAIA anymore, and we're going to go do our own thing.
That's what's crazy, brother. The NCAA governance is that as well.
Oh,
They oversee all of it.
everything. Okay.
That's honestly like you want to get in the root problem or like the root issue where I think all
So
this
they have
stuff,
monopoly.
like Title IX and NIL payments
Yeah.
and the NCAA making billions and billions of dollars, and then you have not too long ago, 10, 12 years ago, a couple NCAA basketball players in the March Madness biggest tournament during that time going, I'm eating ramen noodles. Right, that's like you get into there. They're a giant monopoly, and there's a bunch of ants over here running that business for them.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that root of the cause of like why there's this more pushback of like, oh, whoa. There's money grab there too, right? Like there's the NCAA has the rights to the basketball tournament, like they've like trademarked March Madness.
Yeah, so it's the same thing as the Super Bowl. Commercials have to say the big game. They can't say the Super Bowl.
You take the SEC out of March Madness. Because that's what comes in 28, 29 when they're no longer part of the NCAA.
Yeah.
They have to go play in some other tournament that now rivals member institutions that are part of the NCAA.
The March Sadness.
Like, dude, it's good. Like, I think it's gonna be crazy, bro. Like, it really is. Like, it's gonna be absolutely. But like, that's where private money comes in, bigger tournaments. Like, it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a
Well, okay.
tide that turns some crazy.
And I think we could see March Sadness. Yeah, we could see.
came up with that. That's ours.
Yeah.
Trademark that. Today.
Trademarked it. Yep.
March Sadness. The first March Madness that comes out with no
Without
SEC teams.
the March Sadness.
Boise State in the top 4.
Fresno State actually making it.
Rough, brother. Rough.
Oh,
Rough times. Rough times.
damn. But no, I think that the whole NCAA thing is crazy to think that it's an opt-in thing.
Yeah.
And I want to know where all the money goes because they make billions of dollars and it's
They're like
nonprofit.
billions.
$1 billion. Like, are you kidding me?
Yes, but I think that's what's, and again, like, that's why I think you're starting to see more and more pushback. I think this whole big old house settlement, Alston payments, NIL has really ruffled the feathers, and I think it opened the eyes to some of these institutions. Like, whoa, hold on. Like, we have a lot of power. Like, we have a bigger voice. There's one unifying brow that holds us, which is called the NCAA, but there's 1,000 members. Like,
Yeah.
So if we as a membership could gain a voice,
Right.
maybe we start pushing back on some of these things.
Well, like one thing, like I feel like our parents' age group and people that maybe didn't have to go through the college football, like stressing about money, not knowing how you're going to make a car payment, or I mean, dude, I got in a car accident. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for anything.
Yeah, no, correct.
So I don't
like how much. Like
when-
my insurance is calling me, and I don't even know how to answer the phone. Because they're going to ask me questions I might not know how to answer.
You have one side of the older crowd or the people that think, hey, you're getting a free education. You should sit there and be grateful.
And I think
then you have
know that everyone that has been there understands the value of that education.
Yeah, for
Like, I
sure.
don't think there's a person out here like, no, man, screw that. Like, I know what I know you know what yours was worth. And I
Oh,
know
yeah.
what mine was worth. So
Yeah.
there's
But then there's
rebunk to that.
Yeah, and then there's like this side that's like, I think they should make the most amount of money. So what is your opinion on that? Because I feel like a lot of our viewers are either sitting there thinking that's terrible, they're ruining college athletics, they should be like, the kids should be worried about their education and their future. And then you have other people that are like, no, this is what people are profiting billions of dollars. If you have had success, we've seen plenty of guys that have great college careers and they don't make the NFL, and they, would have never had the opportunity to make that much money. And and now there is that opportunity, and I think it's a good thing. So
No, I think it's a phenomenal thing. Right now, does it need bounds? Does it need protection? Does it need, like, at the end of the day, these are still kids, right? Like, they're kids. They're 18, 19 to outliers of like 22 and 24, but like 18 to 22-year-olds. Okay. Now, do we need to get into the conversation of like, do they need to be demanding contract renegotiation like every game? No, there needs to be bounds and stipulations to that. But they also do deserve a piece of their pie.
Yeah.
Right. The business doesn't run without the players. Plain and simple.
Yep.
You can look at any professional league
Well,
at any level.
and
It's not run without the kids and the players that are on the field running and playing the game.
and think about it, right? Like the reason why pro athletes get paid what they get paid, the reason why actors get paid what they get paid is because there's a talent level and a skill gap there that nobody else can do what they do.
But like you go back and you want to say like, oh well, their education. Okay, let's say a Fresno State education is $60,000. I can tell you in my time of being a Fresno State athlete and the amount of games I played and the things I did for the program, it's worth a hell of a lot more than $60,000.
For sure.
So you can put that as a line item and deduct it, but I'm going to be a good negotiator. I'm going to take care of my chickens.
Right.
And go, okay, I see your $60,000 education. I am appreciative of that, but I'm also bringing in, okay, that stadium sits 45,000 people, and when we win football games, that stadium gets filled. What's 45,000 times 10x of a hot dog?
Right.
That's a lot of money, okay? It's
Exactly.
a hell of a lot more than $60,000.
Yep.
So there's some version in there that these kids deserve their slice of the pie. They deserve to make their money, but you have to give them support.
And I
Can't let them just go make $1 million for 2 years and then get chewed up and spit out by the NFL and then not have any support system and not have any income.
two things there that I think there are these two fantastic things. One being kind of the rev share thing is that we're not saying, oh, you should pay players, but like the money's not being made. The money is being made. The money's there.
The money's there. Is there a bit of a facade to it all? Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Like in the power conferences, there's there's buckets and buckets and buckets.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Now take that and siphon it down to the lower levels.
Right.
Let's use Fresno State as an example. Like we are a great group of 5 because we compete and outkick our coverage a lot, and we do more with less, which is probably one of the worst slogans you can ever give yourself. But like,
we got it.
But we do, okay. But like, we also aren't fucking swimming in it. So like, when you get into going like, hey, how am I gonna revenue share with money I don't even know that's coming?
Yep.
Like I'm at Alabama. I know I'm getting $15 million from a TV contract. I don't know what that is in the Mountain West or the MAC or the Sun Belt to be able to go like, all right, shit, I'm getting $5 million from TV revenue, and now I got to split that up between my teams in that.
It's the same exact thing as like a big trust fund that knows we're generating X amount in a mom and pop family real estate company.
They don't necessarily know where that nuts.
They might not know.
They got good stuff out there, but like, it's not like proven pudding. Like, I'm getting this bread.
And then I think the other thing you talked about that is like super important for people to think about, and I think about my former teammates that are still playing, that are getting big contracts, still in college. Now that I'm in the investment world for work, like the power of being smart with money and the resources that kids get. I was working out the other day. So resources for kids that are getting these big contracts at a young age. It would be great to see these institutions start creating pathways for them to.
Well, I will tell you, as a former guy that was in it, you're at a college campus for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, you're a student athlete. Okay. The Student Resources Center on your campus at your level of your institution has some very good shit for you.
Right.
Okay. Like, this is a true shout out to any college athlete that's on campus doing NIL. If you have tax issues, you have any questions, you go to your money management center on campus, and they will handle all that for you for free. Like that's
fantastic.
That's
I didn't even know that.
That's the number one resource I would tell you is like if your institution isn't providing it from a high level, from a third party standpoint, no matter what, your on campus part of the school has some building that does money management resources.
That's huge.
Ours is called the Money Management Center. You literally can go in there and get investment stuff, banking stuff, tax information. You know, some of these kids we talk about the high end, right? But we also talk about the low end, where a kid that comes in and you're a hell of a football player, and here's your revenue share contract, here's your collective stuff. All of a sudden gets money pushed in front of it. Maybe he's never had a bank account.
Yeah.
Maybe he's never even understood what savings is, right? Like, you need to have that infrastructure.
Exactly.
And I think that's like when you ask like one end to the other, like I'm in the middle. I think they deserve to understand what they're getting from an education standpoint, but also if you're going to pay them money, you better have infrastructure for them to make sure that you're not just turning into a machine that just spits kids out that have unrealistic spending habits because they got paid a lot of money in college.
Yeah. And like, there's so many, we can go down this rabbit hole. You and I could literally sit and talk about this for hours, but just to throw a few other ideas out there, like there's just so people can understand like what it's like while you're in college athletics and what's like once you're out. One thing that I think college does do is they give you a lot of resources.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't think they teach you how to find resources.
Correct. How to be a bit of a scavenger.
Yes.
And use the things around you. But like, there's one big glaring thing that I will tell listeners, viewers, anyone that wants to understand it. Like, when you're in college and you get your college scholarship stipend check, okay, your books and everything's already taken out. If you get the leftover lump sum of whatever that is, okay, when I was graduating from Fresno State, it was 1883.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was the same thing for you.
Yeah.
Okay. That 1883 is now your rent, car payment, groceries, fun time, gifts for significant others, mom and dad's coming to town, you want to show them a good time. Like, it's your spending money. So the biggest difference where I think in college between once you get out of being a college athlete and get in the real world is like, when I'm given my check in college, that's all the money I get to have. I get to spend it.
Yeah.
It's disposable.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas,
Because
like,
the next month it's there.
correct. But I'm saying, like, I get to a real job, they give me $5,000. I don't get to spend $5,000.
No.
I have to figure out my taxes, or hopefully I'm a W-2 and they take my taxes out for me and it's all sorted out.
Yep.
But you still have to go back and pay taxes down the road.
Yep.
You don't have to do that on a scholarship check. It's money in and money out every month. So, like,
Right.
I think there's a learning lesson there of like, oh shit, like I just got my real paycheck and why did they deduct $1,000 out of it? What do you mean I got this W-2 in the mail? What am I doing with this? Like,
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing for people to understand. Like, some of these kids come out of college not even really understanding that, like,
That was me.
when I get paid a paycheck, that's not all money that I can just go and spend and have a good time with.
Yeah, no, that was me. I think the other one, how this whole thought process came, and this will be the last point, was I was working out, and it's hard to work out once you're done with sports because you had so much structure with the program.
Yeah.
That once you're done, it's like a shell shock of like,
Where do I go find that?
where do I
And you're also not gonna get MF because you're late.
exactly? So I was thinking about it. I'm like, I really want to reach out to whether this is like kind of like I don't know if it's like a thing that programs can do. I mean, I know they can do it, but I would love to see programs make a packet that they give their players of like, whether it's a PDF or whatever. I got one before I got to Fresno State of like, hey, here's the kind of workouts that we want you to do.
You need an exit program.
Exit
Yeah,
program
like
as well. That's
exit physical release. Like,
yeah.
here's how to stay in not meathead stage, but healthy for the rest of your life
right.
with T-spine mobility. So when I'm 80, I can wipe my ass.
Exactly.
How do I make sure that I'm okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
And give them the resources like, here's how you feel good. Get with your trainers. They give you the packets that they have because they already have them.
Well,
you know,
like, dude, we could, again, like, you just popped my mind on a whole nother thing. Like, think about guys like ourselves, had
Yeah.
great college careers, played lots of games, had a lot of fun, took a shot at the NFL, didn't work out, and then got into their normal life. Your body tells the score.
oh yeah.
Body keeps the score.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it every day. I went on and did other things that wore my body out. But again, same as you continue to work out. Like, now, I don't even think we talk about like how many kids are like walking around with like existing injuries that never got taken care of at high level college athletics, and now are just like walking around just like not
Broken.
decrepit, but like, I'm 29 and I like getting out of bed kind of hurts sometimes. Like,
Oh.
where's my support? Like,
Yeah.
you don't have, like, in a pro league, you have that infrastructure. You kind of have this exit leaving. Like, you don't really necessarily get that in college. So
Right.
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But as we're still on the note of college, one of the hottest times of the year is obviously a little bit of World College or baseball College World Series, but my favorite, women's softball College World Series. It is one of some of the most electric atmospheres you could watch on TV. Like, watching it, I've never been to them. I've watched a bunch of softball in person. I've never been to that high level of it. It's expensive. It's usually in the Midwest. But like, watching it on TV, you can feel it. Like, the teams are competitive. The tournament breeds this level of juice. Like, all those teams have fought to get there, and there's 8 teams left. They've gone through regional, super regional, and now it's down to like, hey, it's kind of like the same thing that like the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, these teams hit it, and we got to get on a vibe. Like, these teams just need to find where they get.
I love college softball because for the most part, it's pretty fast paced.
It's almost more dynamic.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously everything's a little bit more condensed. It shit's closer, but like, it seems like the game is a little bit more flowy and interactive. Like, a pitcher can get on a heater and shut down a lineup.
Yeah.
But like, it also just seems like it kind of flows faster.
Yeah. And I like they're hitting home runs. they're making plays, like, and it's fun to watch.
Every time the softball hits the bat too, it sounds fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not like they could be hitting like a dart down third base line, but it sounds like it just hit a nuke. Like,
Yes.
and I'm like, yo, where'd that go? Like, let's
Exactly.
get it.
Yeah, we could be in a conversation, we hear it hit, we're like, oh shit, where'd that one? Yeah.
Yes. Like,
And like, I don't know if you've seen this, but like softball pitchers, like they have nasty, crazy pitches. Like
oh,
some of the baseball guys struggle to hit softball pitches.
correct. Like straight up like a rise ball.
Yep.
Okay, which is like straight up, it's a fastball, but it rises as it comes in the zone.
Yeah.
And they're throwing that thing, anywhere between 65 to 75 miles per hour, which somehow gets configured to being like almost a 90 to 95 mile per hour fastball.
Yeah,
at
because
a shorter. depth.
Yeah.
It's like baseballs are very reactive. You have to be super fast in your reaction speed, but I even think softball condenses that even more.
Yeah.
The release angle, you're not
The
seeing that ball as
well,
much.
Yeah, exactly. You're not seeing the ball; it's coming out of their hand, and then you're seeing like baseball. It's over the top,
got a
so
lot
you're
of time to
seeing you're
identify it,
tracking
yeah.
that pitch. You can see arm angle movement. Yeah.
No, there's and I couldn't imagine, like, I played baseball for a long time, and, you always are sitting there in the batter's box, and, like, when you see that pitch, you're ready to unload on it. I couldn't imagine, like, being a softball player, and they throw me a rise ball, and it starts out, like, belt high, and I'm like, oh, baby, I'm about to let it eat. And, like, you have to, like, it's so fucking fast by the time I've already said I'm letting it eat, I'm swinging, right? And by the time I swing, that ball is, like, 6 inches above my head, and I'm like, yo, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
That thing gained about 6 inches in elevation through that, like, 5 foot space.
Yeah. No,
It's insane.
the whole time you were talking right now, all I could think of was like sitting there, like you said, like I'm waiting. I'm like, all right, here it comes. Ooh, I'm gonna freaking smoke this thing. And as you're swinging, just seeing it go,
Yep.
and you're just
Catcher's
whiffing.
catching it up. You get the dust and everything.
Oh
all
my
the ball.
gosh.
She's fired up.
I want to know. One thing I do want to know though. We should talk to somebody that's Haley.
Haley Dulcini,
We need to talk to her.
absolute
Dude,
legend.
the fact that the throwing mechanics are so completely different, I want to know, like, the feeling, if it's like a momentum type thing, because
I think there's a bit of
baseball
momentum there.
momentum type is it?
Baseball's like elasticity,
Yeah.
and force through your midsection. I think softball's the same,
Mhm.
but you can get in that windup's a little longer, and you can get your pelvic floor involved and
Yeah.
your hips coming through. So it's a little different. But I want to list some of these matchups for this college world or the college world series, because one, there's big names like traditional names within the college athletics landscape that you're gonna be like, yo, you're starting to see some of these big time schools like stack opportunities up to win national championships. So you have in the first round, you got Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, UCLA.
Wow. Yeah,
Those
that's
are-
stacked with all big dogs.
Those are big dogs. Those are huge names within the college landscape. Obviously, watching a lot of college softball with Mama Mitch. Shout out Mama Mitch. OU, they're dogs.
Oh, yeah.
They find a way to win. Their coach has been there for a long time.
I've watched.
They seem to just pump talent out like year in and year out. There's this premier. Usually, there's like a premier outfielder batter. And then
Yeah.
there's like her mini me or the next coming of her that's like a sophomore. And like she's a little bit under her from a performance standpoint, but like you already know, like, okay, in a year from now or
She's
2
gonna
years,
be nasty.
she's gonna be her, and then there's gonna be another. Like they just pump talent out, and it's so fun to watch. And I think this time of the year is a good time for college athletics and kind of see the excitement of that.
Yeah.
But I know I want to get a little fired up now. All right, like real fired up, like as fired up as that Minnesota fan that got caught on the jumbotron ripping bumps off his knuckle.
Are you kidding me?
Dog, full
And he's-
blast
hey.
on the jumbotron, just giddy, happy, pours it down on his wrist, hits it, and it's just like
He's a.
they had all I could imagine is like what type of bender they had to be on. Like, what time did that guy start this morning? Like, was that
5
like,
a.m.?
was that a 5 a.m. start? Is he a little late to the party, so he's feeling he's got to catch up?
Ooh.
Like, but like, dude, you can't be like. One, we do not condone hard drugs on lunch
No.
meal, guys. Okay,
Mm-mm.
it's a pandemic in our country, and we need to take care of it. But my brother, to have a little subtlety to
Hey,
you,
he
have
ripped
a-
it. He ripped it.
He with unapologetically was himself for a moment,
Well, and it's like, it looked like they were in nice seats,
dude.
and there's normally cameras panning
Dog.
around. those seats.
You already know most of the at a high level NBA playoff game.
Playoff game, by the way.
National televised. Okay, we only have four teams competing. There's only two matchups,
2 games.
one game a night essentially. Okay, that camera's panning and looking for shit all day, all night.
Hey, the cameraman. Hey, that cameraman is so stoked. He's sitting there like he's going home and he's telling his wife, "Guess what I did tonight? I'm the guy that caught the guy."
Which gives me a great hot take. Like that has got to be an art within camera crews of like, hey fellas, who we finding at night?
Yes.
Like or like is someone scouting it? Like is there a camera crew that's got a person that's giving tickets, that's checking tickets?
Do they have?
It's like, hey, someone just walked in. They look crazy.
Hey,
Look,
seat 17B,
14. Light them
hey,
up, no.
dude. He's gonna be on 10. All right.
No, like, is there collusion in there or like?
Hey,
are
they got
just finding diamonds in the rough.
They got guys that are just running around with walkie talkies. Hey, over here, this guy's acting a fool.
Yes. Like
I love that.
There's got to be a little something.
We need to talk to a marketing team. We need to talk to Fresno State marketing team.
Dude, but like. You know, an episode ago, we talked about the Lunch Pail Gala. All right, that shit's still running around in my brain.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, that could be another segment,
dude.
Camera crew find of the year,
Yes.
and just camera dudes finding,
hey,
embarrassing people with the kiss cam, like
yeah, exactly.
Guys ripping bumps at the Minnesota game, like where
They're
anywhere
totally
in there.
They're totally comparable.
It gets the people fired up. Comstock. All right,
I love that.
You got to give them what they want. So, but brother. We had some phenomenal rugby over the weekend.
Fill me in, Matt, because I didn't watch a single bit of it.
Well, this is why resident expert over here is ready to download. We had USA Women's Eagles versus the Black Ferns.
Okay, I know something about this.
Yes, you do.
There's a lady.
There's an absolute monster.
Lady.
Please
That
tell me what you know so I
don't
enlighten our viewers on the amazing stat line that she
I don't know the name.
Yes, her name, I'll give you the name, okay? Her name is Portia Woodman Wycliffe.
Okay, I'm gonna just call her my sweet Porsche.
she's got the pace of a Porsche. I'll tell you that right now. She's absolutely lethal on the
So
outside.
this is what I saw. I was on Instagram and I'm starting to get rugby content just due to
spread the game
algorithm, you know.
that.
And
You're welcome.
yeah, I appreciate it. And she comes, it's like now that Porsche isn't in the league. Like, it's my time to shine. And then it's like, psych, I'm coming out of retirement. And she's like, what's up?
And that's our, fangirl, our dog,
Yeah.
Anna Maher, who's single-handedly growing not even just USA Rugby, but like single-handedly growing women's sports in America.
Right.
Okay, like her, Caitlin Clark, like there's actually like analytics and demographics out there that, like, I think somebody told me it was like a growth of like 250% over the last 6 months.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Literally, it was just captured by
Those two.
Lana, Caitlin Clark, and then a couple other supporting characters. Obviously, the WNBA is blowing up, all those things. So,
Yeah.
like, it's very interesting to see that. And it's crazy that she's coming on. She's making content leading up for what was going on was the Pacific Fours tournament, which was Australia, New Zealand, America, and I believe Japan.
Which is the same thing as the 4 countries hockey tournament. It's
very similar. Very, very, very similar.
Where you're just getting 4 teams together and we're going to play, was it a round robin?
Style. Yeah, round robin tournament style. Whoever scores the most points at the end of it wins it.
Yeah.
Which obviously New Zealand scored a lot of points. Like a lot of points. Portia scored 7 tries herself.
Wow.
On Saturday against the level.
In one game?
Yeah, one game.
Oh, I thought you meant in the tournament.
No. 7 tries against our lovely USA Eagles. But this is what I'm saying though. The clip you saw, she's got she's as fast as a Porsche. She's got pace.
Yeah.
But she brings this level of power and finishing ability to the game as well. Like
tenacity.
You need to watch some highlight clips because she'll be outpacing somebody and then see an opportunity to run through a motherfucker's face and run through a motherfucker's face. And
it's like
be very unapologetic about it. So she's an absolute dog. But
it's like a bull that's running and it's like, I could hit that thing. I'm going to hit it.
I might be able to outpace her. I just outpaced her whole team. Nah, fuck it.
I love that.
Put my right foot in the ground. I'm gonna go run through her chest.
Oh gosh.
Just reading this thing. So the Black Ferns is what they're called, which is essentially just the name for the New Zealand women's All Blacks team. She's the all-time try leading scorer, dotting down 7 tries on Saturday, bringing her a tally of 45. Okay, and that leads the entire country of New Zealand from a women's rugby standpoint.
Wow.
The next closest person is her name was Vanessa Coates. She was a winger. She retired in 2002. She has 43. So the next
Wow.
closest who's still playing is actually not even on the top 5 list. She's number 6. She's a young winger that has 24. But one thing that I want to highlight about this is obviously her name's Portia Woodman. She hyphenated her name to Wycliffe.
Yeah.
Her wife, Renee Wycliffe, is number 5 on the all-time
Wow.
try scorers leading list for the Black Ferns, sitting at 24. So crazy thing, obviously power couple out the wazoo. They're both try scoring machines.
Mm-hmm.
But Portia also doubles her on the list.
Yeah, that's
Or a
unbelievable.
little under.
And that's
a little under doubles. It's 24 to 45.
she pretty much doubles
Pretty much.
the top 5.
Yeah, she's definitely a dog. And I think the funniest part was that like she literally was in retirement. She's like, "Yo, I'm hanging these boots up. I'm chilling. I'm good. I've had a great career."
Yeah.
And then there was this big wave of Lana and USA marketing and rugby. And crazy thing is New Zealand as a country is actually investing into American grassroots rugby programs because they see the action of rugby needs to be blowing up and glowing up so that when we come play, we gain more viewership as a country.
Right.
So like they're investing into that. So
Smart.
I think it was a big deal for Portia to be like,
Well, it made me
seeing a chance here, and I'm gonna hop in and kind of bask in that glory, and then just
To actually do it?
7 tries.
Yeah. Well, it makes me think of like when Gronk was like, "You're gonna trade me. I'm gonna retire."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I retired. No, I'm back." Or like Tom Brady.
He
"I'm
just
gonna
needed to
retire.
sit
Oh,
out
I'm
long
back."
enough so that contract voids, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "All right, I'm on the free agent market, baby. Let's
Right?
get it."
That was fucked up.
Dog,
Oh yeah,
is it fucked up or is it absolute genius?
yeah, he's like,
Maniacal. It's
He's like,
literally Gronk,
you-
yo, this is my play box. I do what I want in this box. You don't tell me what to do.
"Hey Gronk," he goes, "You can't trade me if I'm retired." Like he's like 5 years old, like telling his mom, like,
Dude.
"You can't take that away from me if I don't even want it."
He literally might be one of the best like sport arters,
Dude.
cameos, like every time that I see that guy on a podcast or they put him on live television or something, I'm like, who let that goober
Yes.
put
No.
a mic in his
And I'm
hand?
so excited because I'm like, what kind of crazy shit is he going to say now?
Yes, he was on Bussin' the other day, and I was like, yo, I haven't even listened to him in a long time. I was like, I need to listen to it so I can hear Gronk
Yeah.
and what kind of crazy shit he's been up to
Dude,
and what he's getting into.
I mean, talking about that, you saw that Shaq like pretend to pee on Chuck's car.
you told me that before, and I just go to say, like, I don't know a bunch about their relationship,
Yeah.
but I see what I see on social media. I see what I see on Inside NBA. Those two dudes are crack up.
Oh my gosh.
They are pressing each other's buttons. There's like that's why like you said that and like I was just laughing because I was like I bet that Chuck did something inside the studio that Shaq was like, nah, I'm on his head. I got to get him back.
Oh, for sure. He's like, this is my get back for you being a clown somewhere else.
Yes.
But that I feel like that sports brings those kinds of
Yeah,
things out of people. Like
That's the truly like what you see on them two bickering and having a good time. Or like it gets a little heated, but like it's also civil.
yeah,
That's literally just a cut out of the locker room, like in the D block.
yes,
Like people are actually getting a pretty cool view at like what athletes do with banter and
Yeah.
chatting and like what the camaraderie of sports brings to friendships and all that things. Like
absolutely.
it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I think that's why I love watching those moments so much is because it gives me like that comforting feeling of like, ooh, the boys are still
they're
doing,
getting after
you know, like they're still having fun. People are still doing
It's
that.
hysterical. Like we could pull up a compilation of them just messing with each other. Like I still go back. I know I told you this before the pod, but like when they're messing around with each other on set on that Christmas time, and Chuck trips Shaq, and he goes full face first into the Christmas tree.
Yes.
Dude, and he like Shaq's a giant human being, and he kind of disappears in this fucking tree, and you only see his legs, and he's kind of flailing. And I was
Yeah.
like, I know he's pissed right now.
Oh, for
and
sure.
He's already like, how am I getting Chuck back?
Yes.
Like, what am I gonna do to embarrass this fool later down the road?
Yes.
It's so funny, man.
And he's plotting now.
No, scheming,
Yeah.
but like on live television, just getting it out there, letting it hang with the boys.
Oh, I love that.
But a little more about rugby, man. Major League Rugby's coming down to crunch time, brother. Like, I mean, we have 3 more weeks left in the regular season before we get to playoffs. The playoff picture it's looking good on the East. Like the teams that were stalwarts are stalwarts. They kind of essentially what's special about it this year is top 4 teams from both sides make it.
Okay.
And on the East there's 6 teams. On the West there's 5. So 2 sit out on the East and only 1 on the West.
Okay.
How's
How's the team doing with no wins?
They have not got a win. My boys from Charlotte.
Damn.
But like I'm telling you, they're still fighting.
Knock,
Like,
knock, knocking on heaven's
they're
doors.
They're
They're knocking on the door.
need a little love. They're knocking on the door, but like I think it might be another year, man.
Hey,
Of chasing that dragon and finding their first win.
I'll tell you this: if they find a way to like get a win, or like they can explode and do something fantastic. Like sometimes you gotta suffer
No.
before you.
Sometimes you got to feel the bottom of the ocean before you can bask in the glory of the sun at the top. All right.
And I know we've talked about
They've
this
been
before.
down there for a while. All right. Look, they have done some time at the bottom of the ocean.
and it's not always the best thing to sit at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, that makes me sad.
We're hoping that they get an opportunity, but listen. They go back-to-back seasons, no wins. That first win that they finally taste, that first victory beer, the first time that they get to sing their song together,
damn,
it's gonna be it's gonna be honestly like at this point it's gonna be something that the franchise needs to embrace. Like think about the shit we went through. We went 2 seasons, no wins, and we finally got our win. Like you could really turn your stuff around with that.
Yeah,
there's a story to be told there for sure. But again, we already know that's one team that's not making it in the playoffs.
Yep.
On the East, there's 2 teams that have already solidified because they have enough points. Like nobody can
locked
catch
it
them.
in. Yeah,
They've locked it. But on the West now, all right, the West is cooking up to see something crazy. We had a big shift over the weekend. On the San Diego Legion had a bye. Okay, so that sits them at idle, so they don't have any points. And every team that was below them won. So now they went from being in 3rd place all the way down to the bottom. The Seattle Seawolves, a perennial team in the league, a 2-time champion, tough to beat at home. Okay, they had been really losing all season long, not really putting their best foot forward. But in the last 3 games, they played Utah, San Diego, and Houston. All 3 of those teams had sat at the top of the leaderboard. All 3 of those teams are probably the heart of that Western Conference. Like that's a tough truck to go through, especially 3 of them on the trot. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Especially, I think they had a Monday game in there and played a Saturday. Like, pretty tough run there. Ended up gutting out all 3 of those wins.
Wow.
Really set them up. They jumped up into 4th. But what I want to highlight is sitting at 3rd place. Okay, you got Rugby Club LA, Seattle Seawolves in 4th, and San Diego in 5th. The point spread is 41, 42, 45.
Wow.
All of that's within 1 game. So, realistically, that bottom 3 spots, the bottom 2 playoff spots within the conference are wide open.
Wow.
And it's going to come down to these last 2-3 games to kind of see how those points unfold, who their opponents are, how they score points. And
if there's a tie, does it go to like a head-to-head?
Yeah, there's a whole breakdown that they get into where it's points scored, bonus tries scored. They really start to break down the whole process of it.
It's not we've beat you 4 times this year.
Nope.
You could have lost every match. You could have
lost every match to them, but somehow nutted up and scored a bunch, like won 6 games in a row with bonus point tries, scored all 5 points each of those games, and those ones didn't really matter.
Wow.
So, and that's honestly like where a team like loses a couple close games, but scores their try bonus point and their close game bonus point and walks away with 3 points instead of 0.
Yeah.
And that's how a team kind of stays in it. But man, it's really shaping up to be an exciting time. There's going to be one unlucky oos on the western side that's going to be sitting out looking in on the playoffs. That's got to feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Only one team sitting out didn't make it. It's going to be a tight race, but really excited to see where it goes. And man, I'm excited to kind of need to get you over and sit down and watch a couple games.
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
Little playoff action.
And playoff sports is just so
That's what we love.
fun. It's so easy to watch because the passion's there. Sometimes you get like one of those regular season games, and it's like kind of
It's just a game. But like when the marbles, when everyone's got the marbles on the table and they're starting to play some games now,
oh yeah,
you really start to see it. You really start to see where it comes through. But
yeah.
I got another hot take for you. And I asked you about it earlier. We've been talking a lot about Run It Straight. Okay, we've had some videos. I feel like we've also been a part of their growth. All right, I'm starting to see they're having auditoriums and
Yeah,
full.
Dude, they have like the little like 40-yard dash runways
Yeah,
that they started putting in
no,
place. Like they got those.
They got full medical teams out there now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually fired up
good.
to see them.
Hey, we love player
love
safety.
player safety and player health. Like,
We also love watching guys get
thank
smoked.
you for taking care of the fellas, but also setting up an opportunity to watch them get smoked. We do
Yes.
appreciate that. But I'm throwing you a wild one here. I actually got this from a buddy of mine. He said, "Hey, I heard you've been talking about running straight a lot." Legendary himself and Danny Barrett. He goes, "We need an NFL edition." So I started to put some thought into that, and obviously I'm going to break it down. Okay, you need an offensive player, you need a defensive player. They have to play offense. Like, so that means you have to pick somebody that played offense in the league.
Okay.
Vice versa for defense. We're going to go skill, bigs. Okay. So skill, running back, wide receiver, neat smaller size QB, DBs.
Oh, we can throw QB in there.
Oh yeah, I'm throwing. Look, I'm giving you my rundown. My QBs are playing in my big skill division.
Okay.
Because I'm having a bigger QB. So I'm gonna run off my 3 for you. Give you some time to think of some.
Yeah.
We'll go down through some honorable mentions that I think would be some fun ones to watch. But skill, Chris Johnson, Ed Reed.
Yeah.
I need to see Chris Johnson running 1,000 miles per hour on a 40-yard dash right into Ed Reed, like primetime Ed Reed.
Are you talking like when on that punt return?
Yeah,
and then he's
that's
like,
the only that's the only clip that came to mind when I said the Ed Reed that I want is the Ed Reed that blocked that punt and blew up the dude down the field.
yes.
That's the Ed Reed I want. My big skill is I gotta throw it out to my boy Marshawn Lynch. I need to see him running downhill, and I'm going against just a brick shit house. Brian Urlacher.
Ooh.
I need to see Marshawn Lynch, Brian Urlacher on a 40-yard dash running at each other. I think that's just
scary.
That's
Like
like
a lot of like collision.
That's like there's this whole saying. It's like when force meets an immovable object, like bad shit happens. Like
Unstoppable force.
It's gonna
unmovable object.
It's gonna be that right in the middle, right? Right. It might be one of those times where like you see an anime where it's just too much power, the whole screen like whites out and blots out.
Yeah,
that has potential of happening. And then obviously you got to throw some love to the big boys. Jordan Mailata, left tackle out of from the Eagles.
Yes.
Running it straight.
Is he not the one that sings?
He sings. He also played a little rugby, so I'm cheating.
But isn't he the one that sings at the Christmas Christmas dude?
Him,
unbelievable.
Landon, Jay Kelsey.
Dude,
they all got a little something going for themselves.
That's like my favorite thing to throw on when it comes Christmas time is him singing.
He's a monster, dude.
Yeah.
Like his clips in the Super Bowl where he's quoting Bane from Batman. Like I'm like, dude, that's O-line. That's O-lineman 101.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not O-lineman 101. That's like O-lineman master's degree 504A. Like that's literally like I'm so in this dude's head right now. I'm quoting Bane to let him know like I might kill him tonight. Like, I might send him back to Ra's al Ghul
for
in
people
shambles.
For people that like haven't been around a lot of big O-linemen, they are like the nicest people ever, but they will bury your ass.
Twisted individuals.
Yes, and they'll use their favorite movie quote or character to tell you they're going to kill you.
I know that you were a wrestler. You're a badass in your own right. Quarterback, safety, all those things. But as an O-lineman, there's a special feeling to grabbing hold of some dude's chest plate and running your feet and feeling that lift and knowing I'm about to murder this dude. And then I'm going to Shamu slide over the top of him and finish with my nuts on his face mask. And then I'm going to stand up and I'm going to help him up.
Yes.
Brother.
Hey.
I'll get you next time. Because I want to be in his dome.
Dude, no. The one thing when you're saying, like, when I get my hands in that chest plate, there's moments. I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten got. Okay? And I'm standing there on the receiving end of this. Like, there's nothing I can do right now. There's absolutely. And what do you do when you're in the ocean and you can't do anything about it? You just sit there and let it happen. Because the more you fight it, no, I'm joking. You don't do that. You put your foot in the ground and you stop the man, but it's scary.
But I'm telling you, Jordan Mailata.
Yes.
Running it straight at Ndamukong Suh.
Oh my God.
That's two semi-trucks.
Ndamukong Suh, he's the one that stepped on. He like intentionally stepped on somebody. He's like,
First of all, Ndamukong Suh was one. I wasn't a defensive player, but he was the guy that I looked up to in my high school career.
Yeah.
Or one of them of like, I want to play ball like him.
Yeah.
Like
But,
not nasty, not dirty.
Yeah.
Just I want to play with
Tenacity.
that tenacity.
Yeah.
He did after he did that whole thing where he stepped on that dude's arm.
Yeah.
And like it was a big deal. I don't know
Yeah.
if he did it on purpose. I mean, there was a little something there.
We've talked about this. Ride the line.
Ride the line, baby. Like,
I don't know.
he's just maybe he got the boys fired up.
Yeah.
Maybe he got fined.
I mean, it's not like he Miles Garretted
Come on,
anybody.
right?
That's
Come on.
like my go-to of like when you
Crash out.
when
Just
you
crash out.
Yeah, when you cross the line.
But what I'm getting at is like when all that happened, he came out and had a documentary and was like, no, like I had a conversation with my mom at a young age that like when we're in normal civilization, like
Yeah.
we're good, nice, happy boys and nice boys, as you would say.
Yeah.
But the moment I step onto that gridiron, there's got to be a switch.
Oh yeah.
And you can literally watch him. Like that dude's a Walter Payton winner of the year. Like gives back to
Yeah.
his community. But like I would not want to be standing at
No.
guard when that dude's lined up in a 3 technique
Mm-mm.
and and the ball's on the line. Like
Yeah.
that dude was a monster, and I think it'd
No,
be
for
crazy.
sure.
to watch
That would
those
be
dudes run straight
that would
at
be a
each other.
crazy one.
But
All right, mine are more like
throw me
just,
some out there. Let me
mine
see.
are just random ones because
I
I,
like
didn't
that.
really
Throw me
think
some
about it. But
randoms.
like first one,
I have some other honorable mentions that I want to
first
add.
one, I'm thinking like Troy Polamalu, just like
Flying Hawaiian.
yeah, just like, and I think people always think about how hard of a hitter he was, but they don't think about how athletic this dude was. Like you don't think Troy Polamalu hyper athletic. You think Troy Polamalu, I'm going to take your head off.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But and then a sprinkle of like, whoa, that he took his head off and he jumped 5 feet from him over
Yeah,
like the entire offensive defensive line. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Like that. Then
so
I
you got
want
him on defense.
I got him on
Who you got
defense.
running it at him?
Saquon, because I mean this dude's just unbelievable and like jumping over guys backwards and
That might be an interesting matchup.
yeah.
Like because like I look at Polamalu and I go like, is he gonna do the tactic where like he gets a couple feet away and just leaves his feet?
Yeah.
Because like we're running it
Like
straight.
spears him.
They're
Bow.
like whap. Imagine the hair in the face. Like obviously these are all hypothetical. It's like
Yeah.
running that game. Like I'm running a simulation. I don't want to put these guys in harm's way.
Yeah.
But like another honorable mention from a quarterback standpoint that I got out there, like OG Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
You know exactly the video.
I
I'm
know
talking
the
about.
exact video.
Where all of a sudden he's just laying wood on dudes, but not aggressively. He just was a big body, so like he would be
Like he had
falling
so much
forward on
leverage on these poor guys.
yes, but sticking on the big quarterback lane, like Josh Allen versus Cam Chancellor,
Ooh.
Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
Coming like giant, big frame Josh Allen, Weenie Hut Jr.
Okay, I got one. I got one. Keekly. All right.
Luke Kuechly.
Our boy Keekly. This is white on white crime versus Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh.
That's what I want to see too.
I would even throw if I'm going a bigger body on him.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly, George Kittle.
Ooh, George Kittle.
That's a nasty matchup. Those guys might be leaving in pain.
Juice check.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What about a Josh Hokett?
Josh Hokett.
Josh Hokett, Fred Warner.
Oh,
Let's give him another run back.
Yes.
Let's give him another run back. 2000, what was that? 2017 BYU. Some of the hardest hitting
Dude,
dudes I ever played
I
against. I'll
can't
tell you
believe
right
that. Yeah.
now. I straight up.
Well, then Josh got to go play with him again, or play
Niners.
like at the Niners. Yeah.
But I like that matchup.
Yeah.
I like that matchup.
No, that's fun.
But nah, man.
I don't really know. I don't
we
really
left
know.
out two really linebackers that really need to have a shot at this. Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
and
Oh.
Brian
Oh.
Cushing.
Okay. I want to see Ocho Cinco and Ray Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Just what's that one video where Ocho's like,
No, I think
I'm
it
hit
was
his
like-
ass.
It was a playoff game, Bengals Ravens,
Yeah.
and he like ran like a little in.
Yes.
Or it might have been a run play, but he was like fading. It was a play action run or whatever, and he was play action. You're passing the ball, but it was an outside zone run, I think, and he was running a bit of an inside seam, and he had Ray Lewis, and he's like in his stance, like I'm gonna go get him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go lay wood on him.
And then he goes to the coach after, like, I don't know why I thought I should have hit Ray Lewis.
The video, he ran and tried to run his full speed into Ray, and Ray's sitting there, gets hit, and is just like bursts off of a play, and he goes back to the sideline. He's like, Coach, I ain't doing it again, Coach. I can't hit him. So good.
That's
man.
so good.
But no, I guess my last question for that is like, are they no padding it or are they padding it? Like, are we giving them pads or are we doing it traditional, run it straight?
Traditional. I think with pads it's more dangerous.
Let's just do shells.
Shells.
You can have your hip pads in, but like you're having helmet and shells up top.
Ooh.
Because run it straight, they're not chop tackling. Like
Right.
they're literally like,
Dude, I just think
I'm
that
trying to
that
stand
amount
you
of
up.
force.
yeah, it's a little sketchy.
I think that amount of force because I don't know.
Yeah,
I could be completely wrong here, but like in rugby, it's not necessarily that you're using all of your force. You're using a lot of technique, which then
It's very technically driven.
which
yes.
then
leads
gives
to
you
more
these
points.
crisp hits, right? Where if you have somebody in pads that he's just
They're all
gonna
just going to drop their head.
and they're
I
gonna
was
go as
just-
hard as
I
they
said
can.
that to you, I was like, yeah, the reason why you see how Run It Straight works is because there is a form in the game where they're trying to stand that guy up.
Yeah.
That's why they hit like that.
Yep.
Whereas like in football, like those dudes are probably like the moment Chris Johnson's running 4.1 speed on a 40,
Yeah.
the 5 feet before collision, he's dropping his head. Like, because he was trained that way to play.
Yeah.
Like, both those dudes are just going to look like rams. Like, wow.
Okay, we got to watch like a pretty cool version of like Oklahoma drill that they're now doing in college.
Oh, my
Which-
favorite name, the Midnight Alley.
Yes. Yeah. I
Maybe
love
that's
that.
what Fresno State calls it, but
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
I thought that was a great drill because it not only does it gives you the cutback
A
lane,
little bit, yeah.
gives you the
There's
not
some integrity.
overrunning.
There's some integrity there.
Yep.
But like every time when I've watched a good rep of that, it starts with the first guy.
Yeah.
Like that O lineman, that D lineman, like they have got to make like for that actually to work how we want it to work, where the running back presses that edge and then really doesn't hit a cutback, but kind of hits it midline versus
Yeah.
straight, kind of on that angle. We need that O lineman to come in and actually give some work in there. and
Right, because if
take
it
that
gets
guy out.
drawn out to the sideline, it's
Wide.
over.
The sideline's your extra defender.
Right.
So.
And anyways, I would love to
You
see
got too analytical in
I
that,
would
brother.
yeah. I would love to see like I wish more programs or ESPN pushed more like fun drills that you
No,
could
for
watch
sure.
of like those
sure.
hyped things. Like that's like one of my favorite things to watch is like teams that's a safe drill that you can still get after it.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I
And
love
think,
that.
I think that's leaning towards more of the safety ring. It's kind of giving guys a little bit more room and space. Right. I think guys get hurt in that stuff. Obviously, head-on collision, but like when you start putting more guys in the fold, they need more space to like evacuate essentially.
Right.
So it's good to see that going on. But let's finish off today talking a little bit about finishing up our Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, we're kind of full swing almost into these last two series with the Stars and the Oilers, where Edmonton leads 2-1 with Game 4 actually on as we speak, and then tomorrow Panthers Hurricanes Game 5 where Florida leads 3-1. So, and I know that we had a little topic we're going to talk about the Florida Panthers.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. Paul Marucci, I guess is their coach's name. I don't know if that's how you say his last name.
He's kind of an older guy.
Yeah. And
Wears a good looking suit.
yeah. And
Kinda looks like a Stifler.
well, and I want to say in this video that we were talking about, I want to say it's after the game,
It was a post game press conference.
yeah, and he's
the
just in like a
reporters were
casual
asking
short,
about him. Yeah.
casual shirt, and it's hilarious because I think we could relate to this as like a friend group and as like just people that we hang out with. The reporter asks him about his guys, and they're ferocious.
No, yes, and like their on ice versus off ice demeanor.
Yeah. And he goes, hey, he's like, you ever go to church? And then he's like, would you ever shotgun a beer at church? It's probably not the right time and
Probably
place.
the right time or place.
And he's explaining to these reporters, like, my guys are good dudes. Like,
Yes.
they're family guys. We good?
Finish up, we'll wrap it up.
So we got guys that are really good dudes off the ice, but as soon as that puck drops, they're
Killers.
shotgunning
No,
a
they're
beer.
killers. It's ready to go.
Church.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're getting
Yes.
crazy. They're going after it.
And
I love that.
What I love about that too, like, and I'm excited to kind of see how these playoffs unfold and who's going to be in the Stanley Cup in the championship game. But like, when a coach knows his players that well, it fires me up.
Oh,
like
for
that's
sure.
something that's talked about. Like it's bred. It's within the locker room. The coach understands. Like, well, I got me some dudes that like do like a little low key family vibe, but like,
Yeah.
oh, I got some killers now when that puck drops. And as a lunch pail guy, you gotta love that.
Come on.
That's punching the time clock.
Yes.
Comstock, it's been a lovely day. Always remember, chop wood, carry water.
Chop wood, carry water.